Welcome everyone, Dylan Gemelli here today with a brand new video for you. So I'm just going to tell you right now, I think this is probably the most highly requested video that I've had the last few months. Sorry for the delay, I've had a lot of topics that I wanted to get out there, but we're going to talk about a SARMS post-cycle therapy. But before we get into that, huge thank you and appreciation to all of you helping to rebuild the channel, all of your support. It means the absolute world to me. The more people we get to subscribe, and please do, and the more likes that we get, please click that like button. It's only going to allow the channel to grow, and more content will continue to come. I promise. When you subscribe, click that bell icon so you get all the notifications from YouTube, and also make sure when you see the opening of these videos and you see the little things popping down on the bottom of the screen that show you my other areas of podcasts, you can get these videos in podcast form, so follow those along, Spotify, Apple, all the ones that you see. Now, let's get down to it. Let's start SARMS post-cycle therapy. Okay, this basically goes for every single SARM mainstream, I would say. So what I'm talking about, MK2866, LGD4033, GW501516, SR9009, S23, YK11, RAD140, MK677, your main ones that you always see used. You're really only going to need a mini post-cycle therapy aside from S23, and YK11 is debatable. All right. Now, GW, SR9009, and MK677, these have zero suppression. If you run those solo or them just together with nothing else, you don't need any post-cycle therapy. They're non-suppressive. There's not going to be any suppression, no need of recovery. Now, if you mix them with something else that's suppressive, well, you still need a post-cycle therapy. So, S23, you would want to revert back to my original how to run the perfect post-cycle therapy video, and you're just going to treat it like a steroid and run a full post-cycle therapy. With YK11, it's arguable. I have seen plenty of blood work on a mini post-cycle therapy that shows a very fine recovery. However, I also will not and do not disagree with people that want to run a full post-cycle therapy with it. I don't truly feel it's necessary, but I'm never going to say don't do it if you want to do it either. All right? You guys know me. You know how I am. I'm all about doing whatever you feel comfortable with and recovering in the quickest, most efficient manner possible. So what do you need for a SARMS post-cycle therapy? Well, and when you see me write out a layout for a SARMS cycle, you'll see that it says mini PCT because it's not a full PCT. One SERM, Clomid or Nova, either or. It's people ask me, well, which one do you prefer? Well, I mean, some people will tell you they get side effects with Clomid. Some will tell you the same thing about Nova. I really don't have an issue either way. I've always liked Clomid a little better than Novadex personally, but there's people that are completely pro-Nova and anti-Clomid. As far as the dosing goes, you're going to do 4 weeks of either one. With Clomid, 25 milligrams a day straight through is fine. You can go 50 milligrams the first week if you want and then drop to 25. You just don't want to overdo it because it's not necessary. With Nova, either 20 milligrams per day the entire way through or 40 milligrams, the first week and then drop it down to 20 milligrams. So then what else do you need? I always have, and anybody that knows me, and if you watch my perfect post-cycle therapy video, I always recommend GW501516 in your post-cycle. One, it's non-suppressive, all right, like we've said, so you can definitely run it in a post-cycle therapy. Now, this is really more towards steroid use where you've got to worry about, certain things in post-cycle therapy. Well, one of the things that you're going to worry about is cortisol. Cortisol is the king of ruining gains. You could still have a cortisol increase in post-cycle therapy with SARMS only. Thus, you definitely want GW501516 in there. Cortisol is a gains killer. It truly is. It'll put you into a catabolic state, which is not going to allow you to build muscle, and at the same time, it's going to eat it away. You don't want that going on. Also, now, I've said this a million times that GW is the ultimate performance enhancer. Where do we struggle the most when we're, on cycle? Where do we have the most problems? and feel the most lack of energy and like things are going bad, generally, unless you're on a really, really, really rough cycle that's just riddled with side effects, post-cycle therapy is going to be that time where you need the enhancement. You're coming off of the steroids. Your body's going into recovery mode. Well, even with SARMs, although the recovery is much easier, you could still see a dip in performance, and GW is amazing. Absolutely amazing for helping people while they're in post-cycle therapy to kind of maintain and overcome. Then, I always recommend that you run a testosterone booster during your cycle, the last 4 weeks with SARMs. However, it's also never a bad idea to add it to your post-cycle. So, there's good and bad test boosters out there. I can shoot you a recommendation. I have a bottle here to show you. This is called N2 Generate ES. This is the extra strength version. There is a regular version, just N2 Generate. This is from Need to Build Muscle. Need to Build Muscle has been around for a very long time, longer than I've even been on forums and online with you guys, well over a decade. The owner is one of the most tremendous stand-up guys that I can tell you about, and so that's why I know these products work and I'm comfortable recommending it to you. You run a test booster of your choice. I can just sleep well knowing that I recommended a good one to you. It's pricey, but you get what you pay for. But Rick is a friend of mine, and I totally believe in everything that he has going on over there. So, but that is your SARMs post-cycle therapy. If you've got any concerns, questions, you know where to find me on email. It's always listed down there, but it's pretty cut and dry. Everybody's different on how they do things and go about things, but that is the mini post-cycle therapy that I always stick with and recommend, and it's worked for a damn long time, so I take a lot of comfort in recommending that. Anyway, much appreciated, much love, much thank you to everybody that continues to support the channel. I cannot thank you enough, and it is greatly appreciated. Make sure that you're tuning in, and stay tuned for plenty more to come. Dylan Gemelli, signing off.